Have you had a couple of days of rainfall and now you're seeing a sudden burst of mushrooms in your lawn? Are you asking yourself the question, are these mushrooms bad for my lawn? Are they bad for my family, my kids, my dogs? Well, let's get into that. So first of all, what are mushrooms? The part of the mushroom that you're seeing in your lawn is the flowering part of the fungi itself. The stem and the cap of the mushroom are the reproductive parts that release spores. So mushrooms are usually not harmful to your lawn, and the presence of mushrooms in your grass isn't actually a bad thing at all. In fact, it's usually a sign that your lawn has healthy soil and getting plenty of nutrients and water. Mushrooms cannot grow in unhealthy soil, so that's an important fact to remember. Speaking of nutrients and water, if you always have mushrooms present, it could be a sign of overwatering or poor drainage. Look into adjusting your watering schedule or finding ways to drain water away from your lawn. A core aeration can really help with that. You should avoid using fungicides to get rid of mushrooms because this can disturb the soil's beneficial microbes. So feel free to Google the plant and soil food web. This talks about the way soil microbes release gases. Those gases support root growth, which feeds the plant, creating healthy roots and healthy grass tissue. The only time I may consider using a fungicide in the presence of mushrooms is if you see them growing in a circular pattern. This is a sign of fairy ring, which is a deeper fungus that could possibly damage the lawn. So fungicides will be fine in this case. So other than overwatering and rainfall and poor drainage, what else would cause mushrooms to grow in your lawn? They could be growing from decaying wood, roots, or other decaying matter underground. Sometimes people will have trees cut down or they'll remove some shrubs in their lawn. Years will pass and then they will start to see mushrooms growing in these areas. So these mushrooms are growing from decaying wood, decaying matter underground. There's really no way to prevent this because they're just growing from the rotting wood from the old trees and shrubs that were cut down. The best way to remove these shrubs is just to hand pick them, throw them in the garbage. So we've answered the question, are mushrooms bad for your lawn? And we've concluded that they are not. The next question you're probably asking yourself is, are mushrooms bad for me, my kids, or my pets? Generally speaking, most lawn mushrooms are completely harmless, but I wouldn't go harvesting them and putting them in your soups and eating them. If you're interested in that, you should seek a professional or do your own research on edible mushrooms. The same goes for your pets. There's really no way to know if they will have an allergic reaction until they get into the mushrooms. If you're suspicious, feel free to call the Animal Poison Control Center or your vet. So what's the best way to get rid of your mushrooms? I would suggest putting on a pair of gloves, just going out in the yard and picking them, throwing them in the trash. I would avoid running the lawnmower over them as this could create some spreading problems because of releasing more spores. If you get plenty of sunlight in your lawn, just leave the mushrooms there and allow the sunlight to dry the mushrooms out.